So be sure to check your $1 bills and make sure it's a star note. And you could be a very wealthy person without even knowing it.
JoeteckTips, he's the man with the plan, guiding us through the digital land.
Hey guys, this is Joeteck from JoeteckTips. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and today I have a serious video for you. Certain ranges of serial numbers are part of this duplicate bill, meaning there are two of the same bill floating around in the United States. It must be a 2013 series. It must be a star note. It must have a B. It must fall in between a certain serial number range, and you must have two of them. Like what? Let's rewind. A star note is a duplicate note that the Federal Reserve has reprinted. However, in this particular serial number range, or ranges, they made a mistake and made two of the same star note accidentally. These are worth a lot of money. A single version, graded. However, if there's a duplicate of it, having both of them makes it worth a substantial amount of money. You can find eBay has a lot of these star notes and quite aware of them. The typical going rate of these dollar bills are about 30 bucks, depending on condition. So you can find, if you have a star note, a 2013 B star note, everything's got to match. It's got to fall in between the serial number. It's got to be a B. It's got to be 2013. And it has to be a star note. If you have an FW on it, on the lower right-hand side, that means it was minted in Fort Worth, Texas. If it doesn't have an FW, it was minted or produced in Washington, D.C. So one bill was produced in Texas, and the other one was produced in Washington, D.C. Either one of them not aware that they actually created it. So that's the interesting part about this whole thing. So Texas created one bill of the same serial number with a star note, and Washington, D.C. did the same thing, and they made the mistake. So I'm sure somebody got fired because of this whole mistake, but that's how it's kind of weird. It is a funky scenario here, but it's pretty sick. It's going to be pretty interesting to see and find this type of needle in a haystack because there's only a certain amount. However, if you like I said, you may actually have it in your possession and not even know it. So be sure to check your $1 bills and make sure it's a star note. And you could be a very wealthy person without even knowing it. A star note indicates that it's been reproduced and reprinted. That's the reason why it's for a star. Any denomination will have a star on it. I have a collection of star notes myself. And if you find bills with low serial numbers, they are also increased value as well. So just don't think you'd be looking for a 2013 B $1 bill with a star on it. Look at all your bills because you may have something that could be worth some money, more than face value. I've been collecting for a long time, and I have a various number of bills that are unique in themselves, which I recommend you do if you wanted to do this. I mean, it can get expensive because you could have a $100 bill that's a star note with a low serial number. Now you would really want to spend it because you need $100, but it's actually probably worth more, believe it or not, than face value. Now, $100 bills are usually pretty crisp and clean because they're not very much used in daily activity and normal circulation. So a $100 bill that you have in your hand may be in pretty good shape and it has a star on it, and I would put it away for sure. I would send it out and get it graded. So, and then possibly sell it and make some money on it. However, if you like to have a collection of bills, then keep it. But any star note, any number, any bill with a low serial number on it indicates it to be a more valuable bill. And most people just take it for granted, but believe it or not, there's a lot of mistakes on these bills. Lots. And you'll just start to find them if you start looking. Everything on the bill, every bill, represents something. Now on the dollar bill, you have like the B series, okay? And then you have a serial number. And then you have numbers around, you have 4 numbers. Number 2. B is the number 2 letter of the alphabet. A, all A bills will have a number 1 on it. I'm dead serious. I'm going to just whip out my wallet right now for dollar bills. So F is the 6th letter of the alphabet. There's a 6 on it. E is the 5th letter of the alphabet. D is the 4th letter of the alphabet. C is the 3rd letter of the alphabet. B obviously is 2. And here's another E. Now, if those numbers do not match, that is an error. So in other words, if an F on the paper and there's a 5, that's a mistake. And that is called an error bill, and it's probably worth a substantial amount of money. I have not seen that, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So this is how they try to prevent counterfeiting, by having all of these different security features on the bill. And believe it or not, the Federal Reserve, they do make mistakes, because the star note is only supposed to be one of. And having 2 of them is even more unique. So I hope I educated you on finding error notes and error bills. Again, 2013 B is a special one. There's only a certain range of bills of the star series. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
In a world of bytes and bits, where tech can make a strip, there's a guru with a knack for every digital tip. Joeteck's the name, he's the one you'll seek. From gadgets to software, he's the one you'll meet. So if your tech's in a tangle, don't you fear. Joeteck's here, let his advice draw near. With his help, you'll surely find in this digital world peace of mind. JoeteckTips, he's the man with the plan, guiding us through the digital land. With his wisdom and his wit, every tech woe will surely fix it.